My guilty pleasure is watching romance comedy animes. I be giggling at 1 a.m. watching that shit in the pitch black darkness of my room, alone, on my phone, in my bed, snuggled up and all that stuff. And sometimes I will catch myself slipping for getting a little too suspiciously flamboyant. But there's a downside to my guilty pleasure. It's the fact that while watching these shows, every once in a while, they'll spice things up by introducing a character that is there to intercept the love between the two main characters. I call these annoying ass characters rom-com villains. Now let me get the easy one out of the way. Desumi, the Reaper princess from Love After World Domination. Technically a villain, but she's goated, so don't matter. Next, Nagatoro from Don't Toy Me Miss Nagatoro. Now, a couple of you may be watching this and may be thinking, bro, she's not a villain. Her third wheeling ass friends are the villain. Or maybe the class rep is the villain. But y'all got it all wrong. And you see, I would normally make that the case. But this chick goes out of her way every single episode to basically procrastinate this guy into doing anything other than what he wants to do with his damn life. And all he wants to do is paint and shit. Like, is that too much to ask? And you know what's even worse? This man don't even like her. He likes the club president. This poor soul just wants to impress his crush with his goofy ass drawings. But this bitch comes out of the nowhere and wastes his time, wastes his money, and worst of all, his plot armor that gives him instant success with the whatever bitch he wants. But he's wasting that shit on her. Next up, you got girls with daddy issues. I'm talking a couple of cuckoos, quintessential quintuplets, Toradora. What do all these shows have in common? Rich ass dads who are most likely pissed as because they got a daughter. But for some reason, all these dads are always out of the picture. And it's always for some lame ass excuse too, like being too busy, running a company, making that bread. But in reality, what they're actually doing is what people do when they get a pet hamster. Basically putting them in a cage in the corner of the room and forgetting about them and just giving them like unlimited nuts to swallow. And that's exactly what happens in the show. Every single one of these girls is just loaded, living in their own apartment, doing whatever the hell they want. But for some reason, every time without fail, they don't know how to cook. Like, why is it you in high school and don't know how to make yourself food? It's not that hard to pour milk and cereal in a bowl, or put water in a ramen cup, or microwave some damn pizza rolls. Why is it always dumb bitches with money? Like, if a single anime just reversed that stereotype, it would be a banger anime. But the most iconic part is how the character development is always the girl wanting to be more independent, but it's always the guy who helps them do that. Like, bro, isn't this the exact opposite of what Twitter fights for on a daily basis? Oh my god, if Twitter watched half of these rom-coms, all of Japan would be drowning in allegations. Next up is a girl so evil, even the IRS won't come after her. It's Mami from Rent a Girlfriend. Ooh, this girl makes my butt cheeks fully clenched because my man Kazuya already got enough on his plate. Not only does this bro live by himself, have to do schoolwork with his friends who are bricks, but his grandma be in and out of the hospital, and that's not even his love life. His love life is so bad. And for what? Maybe a future divorce where any one of these girls will take half your life savings? Pulling your crush is hard enough. But having to pull her by buying her every weekend? That's rough, buddy. And then she's your neighbor? That's rougher, buddy. And then your grandma thinks you guys are dating? That's sandpaper. Like, bro, I'd give up right there. But he's got two other bitches to deal with. But then there's Mami. Mami is like if Ron's ex from Parks and Recreation, Tammy 1, and the constant humiliation of getting a boner while presenting to a class had a baby. This woman, no. This thing, no. This abomination is downright evil. The amount of hours this bitch puts in just to make Kazuya's life more difficult than it already is would make a Discord mod jealous. Now let me break down the phases of pettiness Mami displays in the show. Phase 1, she be sneak dissing Kazuya on Twitter every chance she gets. She be live updating people on this man's boring ass life. Now that's already some slimy behavior, but you gotta be an absolute slime ball to go out of your way to be petty, right? Phase 2. You know, it's not really out of your way if you're just like in a group hangout session together, but you straight up be exposing this man at the dinner table in front of all his boys about his time with you? That's going out of your way to be a scumbag. But phase 3 is where shit hits the fan. I'm gonna skip past the home wrecking because that shit's boring, but what's impressive is having one homie and two of your girls calling you out on your bullshit. She's still persistently going out of her way to show up at this man's work and his crib, and she gets called out on that shit. But nah, she's still thinking of new ways to mess up my main man's life, and it's downright disgusting. Let me know if I should make a Discord so you guys can recommend video ideas for me. Subscribe or else I'm sniffing your toes.